It's clearly the show that you turn up to, that if you want to meet anybody in this third wave of computing industry, they're here. It's a worldwide show. It really showcases Taiwan manufacturing, but also Asia and the rest of the world as well. I've seen lots of press. I've seen some great customers, people like MediaTek and TSMC. I've seen announcements around servers, I've seen announcements around tablets and phones, and I've walked the floor and it's got the usual great buzz.
Well, I think it's always an exciting show. We monitor it, of course, for many, many years. But what's different for us this year is that it's really the combination of mobile and computing coming together into mobile computing. And you see that really in the not only in the products that have been announced, but also with the different people that are having keynotes and talking and sort of the tone of the discussion. It's really an interesting shift in the industry, and we're happy to be participating in it. You know, if you look at the PC industry and I think the computing industry, a lot of it, the center of mass is really in Asia, and this is the place where you know, I think there's a lot more energy and excitement around marrying technology that may be from all over the world to where it really comes to market, which is through Asia and largely in Taiwan.
Things are of a different nature. CES brings together a completely different set of audiences in some sense, and also brings together a different kind of displayers, exhibitors as well. You see some components that you never see on the show floor at CES, and that is where the differences are. This is about the heart of manufacturing, and that is what you see at COMPUTEX. It fires up imagination because you get to see so many different building blocks. You can actually start to see how different things can come to life. What you see at CES, if you compare it, is that you see the finished product at CES. Here, what you can see is how you can build your own experiences for the next generation, and that is what is different, and that is why COMPUTEX's role in the ICT industry is so unique and different.
COMPUTEX going into its 32nd year with 2,000 exhibitors and 150,000 visitors. The COMPUTEX show is in fact one of the largest and one of the most important in Asia today. I think COMPUTEX is instrumental, not just to Taiwan, but globally in the progression and evolution of the ICT category. This is a transitional year for ICT, and the COMPUTEX show definitely has an instrumental role to play in the development of the ICT category.
I think it's going to be more and more exciting, because many new different devices coming up this year especially. It's really a global event, and many global IT leaders coming up, and also many IT industries presenting most advanced products. And this year you're gonna bind some services in, so it's very good. I think it's already doing very well. Maybe you can attract more and more foreigners coming in.
I was amazed by the broadness of the exhibitors. It really covers a lot, and I think in Asia it's probably one of the most, if not the most important IT show that we have on the calendar. It is very current, so it really catches the trends in the industry, and therefore it becomes a very relevant show for the exhibitors as well as people who come here to participate, either as a presenter like myself or simply to walk around and get ideas. From NXP's perspective, we even have some people flying in to just walk around for a few days to get ideas, to a little bit absorb what is happening, trends in the industry, trends in the market, and see how we can make sure that we take maximum advantage of that. You invite us back again next year, because we would really love to be here.
I believe the organization is just perfect from what I have seen. So very easy to find things, very good conferences, so level of attendance is quite impressive. It's important to continue the growth of COMPUTEX like you have done in the past few years. So definitely this is one of the most important in Asia. Now worldwide, it is important. It was important for IT industry, becomes important for consumers. So my advice would be to continue in that direction, really enlarging the number of applications.
COMPUTEX Taipei seems to be very well organized. I see that there are many different tracks for different industries as well as the different technology areas. I look forward to talking to all of the vendors and all of the participants of COMPUTEX. I think people come to COMPUTEX because it's the latest technology. Of course, if you look at the industry in Taiwan, they've always been at the forefront in terms of bringing computing products to the market, and of course they've got a very close association with Intel and Microsoft as part of the ecosystem, and then of course with the big brand names, the big computing brand names. But there's a lot of other exciting stuff that's happening now in terms of peripherals. I think keep the focus on computing, but I think there's a lot of new exciting things that are happening now. We're going through a lot of change, with mobile phones, with tablets. I think these are things that Taiwan will need to look at. And I think there's a lot of very exciting applications in IoT, for example. And there's some good applications I think that Taiwanese manufacturers can get involved in. There's going to be a boom in that area in the next 15 or 20 years, long-term growth, and that's a good place to be.
The organizer are aiming to assist the industry in the state of development of global smart living industries. And they are holding a session, a forum called Smart Living Industry Forum, where I have been invited to give a speech about the smart grids. Siemens is one of, I think, global leader in smart grid technologies, where we are providing our customers in different areas of the world with our products and solutions. And I was happy to share our experiences in this industry also with the participants of this forum.
I'll be talking about that a little bit later today, but I see that as a very important part of the computing landscape, and I'm glad that COMPUTEX is focusing on that this year. I saw most of the presentations and product introductions online, and it's been pretty exciting to see some of the new announcements, especially around the Intel Haswell products, as well as some of the new Windows 8 devices that are rolling out. I'm very impressed by what I see, and I'm excited that the show is really showcases how important the Asia region is to all the trends that are going on in high tech.
I'm a very regular visitor because I grew up in Europe and live in the US, of CeBIT as well as CES in Las Vegas. I haven't seen that much, but what I can see is that it's extremely international, which is obviously great, and I think even more so, more diverse than what I've seen in the other shows. And it seems to be a really good blend of, let's say, more traditional IT industry and like the newer trends. And I think the forum we had here today about M-commerce is a really good example, right? Because that's kind of a newer trend, I would say. And it's great to see this coming together with a show like COMPUTEX.
I was actually surprised how big it is. I mean, there's bigger conferences. For example, I live in the US, and there's a bigger conferences, but I got a very good impression about this conference here.
Yeah, we think COMPUTEX is really good in the sense that it seems to be very global and designed to appeal to all types of companies, and whether those be consumers and users to system builders, to folks who are doing component level technology, folks who are doing services across that. It seems like a really good central gathering point of all facets of basically the technology supply chain, from kind of core building blocks to how ultimately information and data is ultimately delivered. Keep doing the great work, keep being innovative in terms of your formats, and continue to be very inclusive and bring in all facets of this global technology movement.